not leaving the same hotel. Did J-Hope and Jin reunite privately after the show? The alarming clues that spark new speculation among ARY and an unexpected turn that is now gripping the global BTS fandom. Two of its most prominent members, J-Hope and Jin, were seen departing from the same hotel shortly after Jin's high-profile Seokjin tour concert in Newark, USA. Was this a chance occurrence, or a deliberate, hidden reunion between two of BTS's most crucial pillars? The footage, the timing, and the secrecy behind their movements are now raising urgent questions. Did J-Hope and Jin meet privately, away from the public eye? And if so, what did they talk about? The timing couldn't have been more suspicious. Jin had just wrapped up a highly emotional concert night in Newark, a moment that held deep weight both symbolically and personally. The show, heavily themed around nostalgia, gratitude, and quiet longing, concluded with Jin thanking fans in what many described as one of his most intimate performances since his return from military service. And yet, barely hours later, hotel staff and several guests reported seeing a black SUV pull into a side entrance of the same luxury hotel Jin was staying in, only for J-Hope to be spotted exiting the same building early the next morning under tight security. There was no press release, no statement from management, and no social media posts from either artist regarding a meeting. What made this more intriguing was the fact that both idols had taken great care to avoid being seen together publicly in recent months, despite their overlapping schedules. Could this have been a private conversation that wasn't meant for public consumption? And if so, what was so urgent or sensitive that it required such discretion? Sources close to the hotel staff, who spoke under condition of anonymity, mentioned that J-Hope was booked under a different name, an uncommon move unless secrecy is paramount. His arrival was logged by the hotel's internal security system just 2 hours after Jin returned from his Newark show. While it is possible that the overlap was coincidental, the highly specific timing, the use of a private entrance, and the avoidance of mainstream media detection suggest otherwise. Fans have now begun dissecting moments from Jin's concert for clues, particularly a line he said during a sudden emotional pause mid-performance. "Some of us miss being together, but time has changed things." Was this directed at J-Hope? Was Jin hinting at a private reunion that had yet to unfold, or had already taken place? To make matters even more emotionally charged, J-Hope had posted a cryptic photo on his private fan community hours before the concert, captioned only with "tonight." There was no explanation, no image of where he was, just that one word, posted to millions of fans who are now reinterpreting its meaning in the context of this new sighting. What adds further weight to this theory is the long-standing bond between Jin and J-Hope, a relationship fans often describe as emotionally grounded and unshakably loyal. While they have rarely appeared together during the ongoing individual BTS schedules, moments of subtle support, such as J-Hope's enlistment farewell message being read by Jin, remind fans that their connection runs deeper than casual online interaction. If a private reunion indeed occurred, this raises new questions. Was it a personal moment of reconnection? Or did it involve serious discussions about the future of BTS? With group activities on pause and military enlistments staggered among the members, speculation continues to swirl over whether these rare private meetings are tied to deeper decisions about BTS's next chapter. Even more concerning for fans is the possibility that this secrecy indicates an internal disagreement or private tension that needed to be resolved face-to-face. If the meeting was celebratory, why avoid being seen? Why book under aliases, why use side entrances, and why make no mention of it afterward? These are not the actions of artists merely catching up. They are calculated moves to avoid exposure. The intensity of online investigation has only escalated. Photos of the hotel's side alley, comparison of security van models, time-coded footage from fans camped near the venue. Army has mobilized. But in this silence, their imagination grows louder. Could J-Hope be advising Jin on an internal group matter? Was Jin revealing something deeply personal in need of a brother's understanding? Or are these two leaders quietly shaping the next movement in BTS's journey away from the spotlight, Adding further emotional charge is the broader context of Jin's ongoing Run Seokjin_EP tour, a tour that has surprised even industry insiders for its unfiltered vulnerability. At multiple stops, Jin has spoken not just as a performer, but as a person attempting to rediscover his own rhythm post-service, often referencing solitude, reflection, and missing certain brothers. These words now appear more layered when viewed through the lens of this secretive hotel sighting, and yet, no image of the two together has surfaced, only the coordinated silence. In an age where everything is captured, where every moment is shared, the absence of evidence becomes its own kind of evidence. The lengths both stars seem to have gone to in order to avoid a joint photograph suggest a desire for privacy that is rare and perhaps necessary, given the intensity of public expectations. The deeper issue may not be about whether they met, but why they felt the need to do so in the shadows. Have group tensions escalated behind the scenes? Has the absence of full group activity created fractures even between those who once appeared inseparable? Or is this a sign of mature, personal healing, conducted outside the glare of public scrutiny? For fans who followed BTS for over a decade, this moment feels both thrilling and uneasy. The possibility of a private reunion sparks hope, but the secrecy leaves a bitter trace of concern. What are they trying to shield? What decisions might have been made that night behind closed doors? With no confirmation or denial from either side, the mystery only deepens. This silence could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. And in the world of BTS, where every detail carries emotional weight, the line between speculation and revelation is razor-thin. As ARMY continues to scrutinize every clue, one thing remains clear. This was no ordinary coincidence. The hotel, the timing, the behavior, it all points to something carefully orchestrated and intentionally hidden. Whether fans ever learn the truth remains uncertain. But for now, the question echoes louder than ever. What really happened that night in Newark between Jin and J-Hope? And as that question lingers unanswered, unresolved, and wrapped in secrecy, the emotional weight it carries becomes heavier by the day. For a fandom that has grown used to transparency, this silence is both deafening and defining. It speaks to a shift in how BTS, or at least certain members, are now navigating their private and public lives in the post-hiatus, post-enlistment era. The quietness itself is a message. But is it one of protection or of distance? Several fans have also pointed to a particular moment during Jin's Newark performance that now seems far more significant in retrospect. As he stood alone under a single spotlight, Jin looked into the crowd and said, "Even when we don't say everything out loud, we still understand each other. That's what family means." At the time, many believed he was referring to the fans. But in light of the hotel sighting, some are interpreting that phrase as an intimate reference to someone in the room or someone arriving later that night. Could that understanding be the very thing that brought J-Hope to that hotel? Could Jin's entire Newark performance have been constructed not only as a message to fans but also as a coded gesture to an old friend arriving under cover of darkness? Adding fuel to this fire, just 48 hours before Newark, Jin had added a track to his setlist that hadn't appeared in previous tour stops, an acoustic rendition of a lesser-known BTS song that was long associated with J-Hope. No explanation was given, and no context was provided. But now, fans are asking, was this a signal? The context becomes even more emotionally complex when considering J-Hope's recent public demeanor. Since beginning his military service, J-Hope has largely remained out of the public eye, his updates minimal and his tone quiet. This is in stark contrast to the energy-driven personality fans have known for years. A sudden appearance at Jin's hotel, unseen, unannounced, breaks that silence in a way that can't be ignored. Was it a reconnection forged in loyalty, or a moment of personal vulnerability shared only between the two? There are also whispers within certain fan communities that this may not have been their first meeting since Jin's return. Some speculate that Jin and J-Hope have met previously, perhaps even during leave periods, away from cameras and attention. If true, this latest hotel moment may not be a reunion, but part of a continuing conversation we are not meant to witness. This brings us to the heart of what makes the situation so emotionally charged. The mystery is not just about a meeting, but about what it reveals or hides about the state of BTS itself. The group, once hailed for its transparency and emotional openness, is now entering a new era marked by silence, coded actions, and rare glimpses behind a tightly closed curtain. And for many fans, the uncertainty is agonizing. The emotional investment fans hold in BTS is unlike that of most other fandoms. This isn't just about whether two celebrities had dinner. This is about a deep longing to understand whether the family-like bond BTS members have always promised still holds strong beneath the surface. When one member appears alone on a world tour and another arrives under cover of night, seen but not acknowledged, every frame becomes a frame of speculation. Every silence is a sentence. Every unspoken word feels like a message waiting to be deciphered. As these clues continue to unravel, fans are now turning their focus to future tour stops. Will there be more sightings? More unexplained arrivals? Will Jin drop new lyrical hints or shift his setlist again? Or will J-Hope, now a ghost in the frame of Newark, reappear with a more open gesture of support? One fan tweeted what many are thinking: maybe we don't deserve to know everything, but we deserve to know that they're still okay, that they still have each other. That tweet has now gone viral, shared tens of thousands of times, with fans attaching it to photos of Jin and J-Hope in past performances, laughing, leaning on each other, echoing a closeness that now seems too quiet to confirm. If this silence is a form of protection, it suggests that the stakes of their conversations, private, unspoken, may be higher than the public realizes. If it's distance, then perhaps something has indeed shifted permanently within BTS, behind the curated performances and tightly managed schedules. For now, there are no interviews, no behind-the-scenes documentaries, no casual V-Lives to fill the void. There is only speculation, subtle footage, and the deeply felt instincts of a fanbase that knows every expression, every gesture, and every missing word. Something happened in Newark. And whatever it was, it mattered enough to be kept hidden.